What's good, everybody? This is Davidson, Crooks, one half of Fast Break here for our live for IE Sports Radio. Literally for all sports. I'm my co-host, Dentarius, might join me shortly. Have little technical issues at the moment, but he'll join me momentarily. On tonight's broadcast, we'll talk about Jimmy Butler and the Pat Riley situation. Who's in the fault? Who's in the wrong? And where did Jimmy go? We'll discuss that. Plus, Kawhi Leonard returns to the LA Clippers. He helped turn things around for the Clippers. And how long does his body hold up till he goes out again? Plus, the Lakers made a move, trading D'Angelo Russell, broke the net. We'll discuss that, and there are more moves in store for the Lakers. Plus, we'll go over scores around the league in the NBA and also in college basketball, men's and women's. This is Fast Break here live for IE Sports Radio. Literally for all sports, and we'll catch you on the other side after these short commercial breaks.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back into the fold of things. How y'all doing tonight? I know we took a week off here from the show, holidays and stuff like that. I had like a prior arrangement on last week's day of show, so I had to take care of that, all that good stuff. Late Christmas party, but y'all know how it goes. But I'm Davidson, Crooks Prospects, where you want to call me. One half of Fast Break here for IE Sports Radio, for Fast Break for IE Sports Radio. You're the week for always sports. My co-host Dentarius Locke is trying to join me here shortly, so hopefully he'll hop in here pretty soon. But if you haven't already, do follow the show's page on Twitter /X at FastBreakIESR. That's FastBreakIESR. Do follow the show there. Do follow IE Sports Radio on all your social media feeds: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those lovely sites on there as well. All right, so I know last week we kind of took off and stuff like that. D'Angelo Russell got traded for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, I believe. On that good stuff. Maxwell Willis got sent over to Brooklyn as well. So you had that. I'll talk about it more in that in a second. But I think the big issue right now, the biggest story right now, is the feud between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler. And right now, you got, Pat Riley saying this, Jimmy Butler saying that. I think if you kind of go back and look back in the situation, it kind of stems from last year. Butler didn't play in the series, against Boston last year in the playoffs. He was hurt. And then, Butler made the comment saying, well, if I played, I would have, things would be different. Pat Riley at the end of the season presser, he said, hey, I wish my guys would just, come in this shop and just play ball. Basically what he's saying. So now you kind of had those comments there, that stalemate going on right there. between those two guys. And now you're going to the season. Jimmy Butler is about 34, 35 years old. He's winning a new contract, last year of his deal. And Pat Riley and company that really, that not really offering it to him. And that makes sense. And that's their fine, that's their prerogative and stuff like that. But I think it's like, if you look at this whole situation right now, it's just like a hot mess. And I think both sides said things that you kind of wish you would take back, but I think that ship is already sailed. And Pat Riley being as old as he is and how stuck in his ways as he is as a front office guy, general manager guy, I don't think he's going to budge at all. And you talk about Jimmy Butler, who came to his franchise and stuff like that years ago, and I don't say transformed it, but kind of elevated it, and took that mentality of heat culture, grounded out style, all that type of stuff. He kind of like embodies that culture, if that makes sense. And we know about heat culture, finding guys, come in, showing some growth, showing that you can be a team guy to build through the organization, do what you're told, all that good stuff. And Jimmy Butler, kind of embodies that. Got a little moxie to him, but kind of embodies the guy that, the unearthed gem to kind of build an order to help legal organization to win ways. And hey, 2 finals appearances in this time in Miami, not much you can ask for out of a guy. They're going to be real about it. Not much you can ask for a guy like that. And, multiple playoff appearances, all-star appearances for Butler. I mean, he done a lot for that organization that at times, as good as the roster has been built, really kind of underachieved at times. And now you have this crossroads, you're Miami. If you look at the standings real quick, if you look at the standings right now for the NBA, Miami's sitting at 6 at 17-16, right behind Milwaukee, who's really kind of turned things around, right behind Orlando, who's still staying above float with their 2 star players out, and then plus Jalen Suggs going out as well as of last week with this injury. New York 24-12, Boston 26-10, and Cleveland at the top 30-4. So for Miami, they're always kind of been like, since Butler's been there, they're always kind of been that middle of the team, barely above 500. That 7-8 seed the past few seasons. Granted, they went to the final strip a couple years ago against the Nuggets. Eventually they got swept. But they always kind of been there. But always been a team that you didn't want to see in the playoffs when you came to push a shove to it. And, they always been rumored to make moves for the going on with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Do you get rid of Tyler Hero? Do you maybe eventually give up a Bam to get somebody else in there big, like Joel Embiid, for example? That rumor been levied about a good amount of times. But now we're just kind of like, this is where we're at right now with this squad. And, Shaq said it, on Inside the NBA, that you don't want to cross Pat Riley. And that may be true in a sense, but sometimes you got to stick up for yourselves. You got to stick up for yourself. And, I know Jimmy said some things, and the Heat suspended him, which I hope that the players' association fight back for him. But now you suspended the guy, and now, you kind of look at this squad, like, where do we go from here? What can Miami get back for a Jimmy Butler? I'm going to be real about it. They already said no to Bradley Beal, which I don't blame them there. And I think if Miami will go after Bradley Beal, it'd be about a couple years ago. I think that ship is sailed. What can you really realistically get back from 35-year-old Jimmy Butler? Who can you target while also kind of staying in contention as well? I think that's the main question right there. What can you get back for Jimmy Butler while staying in contention and possibly, for the future? Like, if I'm looking around the league, who can make a move for Jimmy Butler to kind of push him to the top? Does OKC kind of take a swing at it? That's one team I keep an eye on right there. They got the draft capital. They got some salary that you can try to muster up to get to that point. And do they maybe possibly take a swing at it? I thought about Cleveland, but you don't want to rock the boat because everything's been going smooth. I mean, you got some salary you can bunch up and send down to Miami for Butler, a couple first-round picks, and maybe go about that way. And I know some team. I've read some reports. Some teams trying to lowball Miami. And if you're Miami, you try and get the best of off possible. I'm looking like Brandon Ingram. Does that sound enticing? Maybe. I doubt the Lakers will be in the mix for it. I don't think they got the cap, the salary for it. They already traded salary in D'Angelo Russell to Brooklyn, so I doubt the Lakers will be in play for it. Now, could they trade him to like a lower level team? Maybe. What about the Atlanta Hawks? I thought about the Atlanta Hawks. DeAndre Hunter, a couple other guys, first round picks. Maybe they trade for Butler, go along with Trae Young. Jalen Johnson. Can you make a good, decent run with that crew, guys? I know Miami been looking for a center. Maybe move Bam to the 4. Add what's his name in there? In the deal, the big man. I forgot his name. Let me pull it up. Pull it up. Hold on. Give me just a second. He'll come to me just a second. But can you move can you move that? Do you do something like within your division? So I don't know what can you Miami get back from Butler. I know if at least the first round pick would be involved, at least a player caliber in his range. Now, I also thought about this as well. Minnesota maybe having some regrets sending Cat to the Knicks for Julius Randle. Cat been playing very great for the Knicks, and Butler had a great year with the Timberwolves. Granted, he was injured for a good bit of it, but could you flip Randle for Jimmy Butler for a rental for the rest of the year? I know fit wise it won't work for Miami with Bam and Randle there. They almost the same player, but Bam is better defender and whatnot. But if you're trying to fetch a all-star caliber player and a guy that's not really fitting well, up in Minnesota, well, you could take that swing a chance. I don't know if they would do that, but the trade deadline is coming very fast in February 6th, and Butler suspended, and you can't keep him. There's no way you can keep him around the roster after the trade deadline. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. And me and D-Log text about this. I think this situation between him and Pat Riley is so toxic that you got to get something done. Me, I kind of put 60-40 blame on Pat Riley because And sometimes, yeah, you want your players to kind of like talk off the cuff all the time. But kind of seeing this at these end of year pressures for Pat Riley that, he says something about his star players and stuff like that, a la LeBron, D Wade, etc., and they bounce afterwards. Like he communicates with them through the media, in a sense, these star players, and next thing you know, they gone. Be honest with you, LeBron's like in a perfect spot in Miami. It was perfect for him. That structure and stuff like that. I think it was perfect for him. Yes, I know he went to Cleveland and went to also finals appearances, all that good stuff. But I think, you really think about it, that structure in Cleveland, not Cleveland, Miami, with Pat Riley at the helm at top, Eric Spoelstra on the sidelines, the veteran guys you had around you at the time, I think that was perfect for LeBron. But we also know about LeBron, he kind of wants that freedom to do his thing on the court and, within the organization and stuff like that, has a say. So, he bounced like he did back to Cleveland. So, to wrap this up, for Butler, I don't know if he plays again after the 7-game suspension. It sucks for me because I got him in fantasy basketball, and it kind of, sucks not playing him. But I don't know, if he plays or not for a Miami Heat uniform. I know you're a Heat fan. It sucks that it's come to this point that you're one of your better star players in the past decade is going out like this. But, we'll see what happens, within the coming weeks or so. When kind of new year, 5 days in, what's going to happen? Like I said, I like some teams like OKC. Do you take a big swing and maybe push your chips in? Cleveland, can you match up some salaries to kind of make your team top heavy for a push for the finals? And eclipse Boston in the same breath. The Grizzlies. I know they've been looking at Cam Johnson from Brooklyn. I know they are. Could they possibly make a swing at Jimmy Butler? Maybe. I know that's a lot of cap space right there you got to take in. And, you get the money with John Morant, Jerry Jackson. That's a lot of money right there. And you're talking about Memphis being a small market team. I know you probably want to take that big salary back from Miami for Jimmy Butler. But it wouldn't hurt to kick the tires on that. It wouldn't hurt. Like I said, I threw out New Orleans, maybe swapping Brandon Ingram there. Atlanta, maybe, send some guys there. Make a push with Jalen Johnson, and Trae Young there. Nobody else I can really, really think of that can maybe make a move for Butler, if we're going to be real. Dallas has been an option, but I don't think they'll get rid of Clay to match up salary rise. And I don't know, would it be a good fit with him there in Dallas? So that's my take on the Miami Heat situation. I personally, I hate it because, Butler came in and made that team solid. Made them tough and made it competitive. That they put, I won't say fear in teams' eyes, but you put good odds of them winning a playoff series with him and Toe. Him, Bam, and the other guys, Tyler Hero, Lowry at the time. You had good odds, for that team to make a good runs in the playoffs. And now that's going to go away. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of things, we'll talk NBA talk for the past week. Talk D'Lo trade to the Brooklyn Nets. Kawhi's return to the Clippers. But this is Fast Break here, live for iSports Radio. You're 3-4 Sports, and I'll catch you on the other side.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. We're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here with a fast break here for live for iSports Radio. You're great for all sports. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. I also failed to mention with y'all before we got on the air. Yeah, I know D-Lock still hasn't joined us. They got a big old snowstorm coming through the Midwest, all that stuff. So, I knew it maybe maybe coming in tonight. So I did want to mention that before I move forward. Also, here down in Alabama, we're kind of on the edge getting that snowstorm and stuff like that. But like for us, it'd be more up north, up above Nashville. I live in North Alabama, so kind of like right at the state line. But now we got like rain and possibly strong wind. So if something happens, if the feed goes out, y'all kind of notice that. So I had to get that out the way. All right. So I did promise for the commercial break. We just talk about the NBA week as it was this past week. One return I want to talk about, Kawhi Leonard back with the LA Clippers. Now, if you're new to this show, we have talked about Kawhi Leonard for a good few years. And what I mean by that is when he's healthy, he's top 10 NBA. Top 10. Kawhi Leonard is the top 10 player in the NBA. But since the injuries, stuff like that, it really knocked him down in our rankings and stuff like that. And during the summer, when we're still doing the podcast form of the show, when he showed up for Team USA, for practices and all that stuff, and everybody saw the Instagram video of him, just walking in, limping at the hotel and stuff like that, basically using his suitcase as a crutch. And everybody like you go watch the comments of him. Everybody's talking about like, damn, is he really gonna make it like that? You know, for the summer, is he gonna make it? And we saw that and stuff like that. It's like, man, I don't know about this dude. And I know Stephen A. Smith has echoed this, you know, telling him to retire for the past couple of years. And, you know, there's always been stories, you know, out by him, you know, needing surgeries and at least be out a good calendar year until he comes back and fully healthy, whatever that means. But it sucks that a future Hall of Famer, let's go and call it that, a future Hall of Famer, that his peakness got robbed at the wrong time. And it sucks, you know, to say that, but you know that injury that he suffered against the Warriors robbed him of his peakness. And are we talking about a Kawhi Leonard that maybe a multiple time MVP? Would he have more championships in his arsenal? Would he ever, you know, get traded from the Spurs if he never got hurt? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe when his contract expired with the Spurs around that time, would he eventually go to LA? We gone to LA anyways. Marcus in the chat. Salute to Marcus. What's good? He said, we're still waiting on Raptors Kawhi. I don't know, man. That I don't say that ship is sailed, but I think that ship is sailed. Even Raptors Kawhi at times, if you go back and watch those games, especially in the finals, you can see that leg is not like 100%. It's paining me to see like a great player that he is, a guy that, you know, wasn't on the radar like that, you know, in college and stuff like that. When we came, you know, going to college at San Diego State, then coming out the NBA draft, wasn't on the radar like that. And now we kind of look at it now like, damn, did a lot of teams miss out on a generational player? Going to the box score for the Clippers last night, they beat the Hawks 131-50. Leonard played 19 minutes, had 12 points, 3 rebounds in the contest. Ivan Zubac, 18 points, 18 rebounds for him. Great showing for him. So mad that the Lakers traded him years ago. James Harden, 29 minutes, 10 points, 15 assists. In that outing as well. On the Atlanta side of things, Trae Young, 20 points for him, 14 assists for him. And, you know, the Reicher, the first round overall pick, 13 points for him in that contest as well. And, you know, for Leonard, you know, bring her on slowly, you know, let him play at his place, you know, and kind of just hope for the best. You know, you hope he don't break down again. You know, you got to do the load management with him, really. And everybody, you know, harps on that, the load management, stuff like that. But for Kawhi Leonard, I think it's perfect for him because his lower body is shot. You know, Charles Barkley kind of dubbed Anthony Davis street clothes, but Kawhi Leonard, he flew under the radar on that one because he's been more street clothes than Anthony Davis has the past couple of years. Now, realistically, with him back in the fold for the Clippers, you know, how much did that? I mean, it strengthens the team, but how much? Is a fair question to ask. You know, right now in the West, the Clippers are sitting at 7th. Well, kind of tied, sitting at 7th, but tied with Dallas at 6. You got the Lakers at 5 at 20 and 14. Who they're playing the Rockets right now. as we speak. Denver at 20-14 as well. So Lakers and they basically tied. Memphis 23-13, Houston 22-12, and OKC have a game back. The Cavs as the top overall team in the NBA, 30-5. So if you're the Clippers, 2015, the Warriors at 18-16. It's time to kind of build some cushion to kind of push away from the Warriors and Mavs. It's time to get some cushion away, trying to get back into that top six where you were not too long ago, and trying to get some constant momentum going with this squad. Because for the Clippers, there have been some peaks, and sometimes it's kind of like that. Like, it's just been middle, go down a little bit, but it's always this kind of middle right there. And I always discuss this about the Clippers. It's the Bombers. Like, they always want to be competing, but it's like, at times, it's not where the level that he wants it to be. And now with Butler in the fold, not Butler, Leonard in the fold, how much can you get from here to up here to Steve Ballmer's liking? Time will tell on that. But I think, it's great to see Kawhi back to wrap that up. I hope he stays healthy. That's the main thing. I hope he plays a good bit, takes it slow. If he's got to be like 15 minutes a night, if just 15 minutes a night, I think that'd be going a long way for the Clippers. But if he goes out again, then I think some conversations got to be had along that front office. Looking at other scores around the league, going in today's matchups right now. Come on, man. You got the Lakers down 6 to Houston Rockets, 76-82 right now. The Lakers, right now, LeBron James, 19 points for him, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Look at a potential never triple-double. Austin Reeves, 18 points, 6 assists for him so far. Anthony Davis, 13 points, 6 rebounds for him so far. Philly Smith, new acquirer, 4 points for him, 2 assists. Not going to be known for his scoring for the most part. For the Houston side of things, Jalen Green, 28 points so far, 4 for 8 for three-point land, kind of cooking the Lakers right now. Amin Thompson, who got that dog in him, 19 points for him, 11 rebounds for him so far. Fred VanVleet, 9 points as well for the Houston Rockets. For the Lakers, real quick, I know we were here last week, but I did want to talk about this real quick. The Lakers made a trade for Dorian Finney-Smith and D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis out to Brooklyn, and a slew of second-round picks for Finney-Smith and Shake Milton in a 4-player deal. My first initial reaction to it, I'll say this as a Laker fan, I always thought D'Angelo Russell deserved another shot. When we got him for the Timberwolves, I was like, cool. He deserved another shot after getting jettisoned to the Brooklyn the first time because, Magic Johnson thought he was too young and mature. And I think, the Nick Young stuff was the final straw. Even though, and I always kind of defended Russell in this, and I kind of gave Magic some shade, like, dude, it's Nick Young. He's a clown. And when D'Lo got traded, Nick Young made a comment about D'Lo again, which further solidifies that he's a freaking clown. If you watch this Nick Young, you're a clown. You're a clown. Nice basketball player, but as a personality and locker room guy, you're a clown. But I always thought Magic gave D'Lo a raw deal because of that situation with Iggy Azalea at the time, who was dating Nick Young and all that stuff, the Snapchat. I thought he always got like a raw deal in that from the Lakers, and it was great to bring him back and get some redemption and see he can stick around this next time around. And for the most part, there was some good, there's some bad. At times, especially in the playoff runs, you couldn't play him because his defense was lacking. Offensively, if he's on, he's on. One of the better scorers in the league. When he's on and shooting the ball well, scoring, he's one of the better scorers in the league. But I think at times, you need that constant consistency for him. It wasn't there for the squad when they needed it most. And now, you're trading him away. You get a guy that can guard multiple positions, and Finney Smith. That would help, go a long way for the Lakers. And I also said on this, you couldn't wait for Jared Vanderbilt to get back to make moves and stuff like that, because we don't know when it's going to be for the Lakers. And so, like, every time we get an update about Jared Vanderbilt, it's like another setback. Him and Christian Wood. So you can't just wait for him to come back to kind of fully evaluate things, then make moves. You got to make some moves now. And that's where, Rob Pelinka and Lakers are at. Like, okay, we need help defensively. Excuse me. So why not make this move now? And we're trying to figure out here down the road. But getting Finney Smith, a guy, can play the 4, guard multiple positions, like I stated, I think that would help the Lakers in the short term. I mean, he's already 31 years old, I believe. So, for the short immediate future, I think he's a good fit. Long term wise, you shed some salary and stuff like that. Now, granted, you gave up those second round picks. Could it be bad? Could be worse. I don't know. We'll see. But I think for me, I also thought about in this trade, real quick. Maxwell Lewis, I had a first round grade on him when he came out of Pepperdine a couple years ago. It sucks that the Lakers never really gave him a chance to kind of be that 3-and-D guy. Like, they continue to force Max Christie there. Now, granted, Max Christie, had 28 points last week, career high for him. That's fine. But I think for me, you give him Max Christie all this time to kind of to prove himself. Why not we give this opportunity to Maxwell Lewis as well and see who shines up top? If both guys do well, that's great for you. But if this guy's struggling, still trying to fight his foot, and you ain't giving this other guy a chance, what are we doing here? And then, suck for him that he goes to Brooklyn, maybe get opportunity, to show himself, and he gets hurt. And he's out 4 to 6 weeks. D-Lo, he's going to be out for a little bit as well, got hurt in that Bucks game. The Bucks game that Brooklyn almost wet the bed and let the game go away, which it's like, damn, that's just like bad basketball in that fourth quarter against the Bucks. When give credit to Milwaukee, they try to make a comeback. Lillard and company made the comeback. But Brooklyn, had that team double digits in the fourth. And I know the guys went out. Cam Johnson, D-Lo, and all that. Those guys went out. But still, that's bad coaching, bad basketball to give up double digit lead against a Milwaukee team that has been playing better. But, you still can poke holes, on them. But, to sum up that trade real quick, a good gift for both teams. Brooklyn can share salary at the end of the year, which they probably want. And, if D'Lo fits with them, he can come back. If not, he'll be a free agent and sign anywhere this upcoming off season. But I think Brooklyn trying to shed weight and trying to, tank a little bit. I think that Bo has kind of sell because hell, look is below them. The Raptors, Hornets, and the Wizards. You can't. I don't think you're not going to out-tank them. And then on the West, you got the Pelicans and Jazz and the Trailblazers. That's 6 teams ahead of you right there. You could outtake them, but it's going to be a very hard very hard sell. Very hard sell. To wrap up other scores around the league today, the Jazz, they get a big win today. 105-92 against the walking wounded Orlando Magic. Colin Sexton had 20 points to lead the way for the Jazz. Walker Kessler, who's been in trade talks here the past month, 10 points, 17 rebounds for him. 27 points off the bench for Bryce Sensabaugh. So a great game for him off the bench. For the Magic side of things, Cole Anthony, 12 points for him to help lead the way for the Magic. 21 points off the bench for Jay Howard. 15 points for Wendell Carter. So the Magic has been a team that's been walking wounded. Jalen Suggs out, Pat Carousel out, the Wagner brothers are out. This team is just I'm surprised they still hold a top spot in this top 6 spot in the East right now. I'm surprised. If you lose that much star power with your franchise, you're bound to tumble. But give credit to Orlando. They still staying in it. They still playing strong. Granted, losing to the Utah Jazz is probably like a bad look because I think you're a better team than them. But look at these guys that are out for Orlando in this game. Anthony Black, Paulo Pachel, Gary Harris, Matt McClung, which he ain't really playing that much, Jalen Suggs, and the Wagner brothers. That's a lot of guys out right there. A lot of guys out. So, hopefully, for Orlando, they shape up, and come out. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. They play the Knicks tomorrow. Cat has been playing well. The Knicks as a whole been playing well. I'm not saying Orlando can lose that, will lose that game, but damn it, in New York in that situation, and from now you start with guys, I think they might take an L there. And then you come back home, play on the 9th, you play the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves team that they're solid, but they're missing something. They could get them at home. They could not. It's just like, you don't know which Minnesota teams you're going to get. Then, for the rest of the week, you got Milwaukee, you got Philly to round up the home games. So, Philly, Philly is just there. And I think you could get them. Milwaukee's different story. As D-Lock would say, you can eat on the Orlando Magic guards, and the guards are out right now, and Damian Lillard may eat or Orlando come January the 10th. So for Orlando, it sucks that they lost this game, but maybe they shape up for this home for the Knicks and the homestand coming up. The Cavaliers keep trucking along, 115-105 over the Hornets. In today's action, LaMelo Ball, 24 points for him, 4 assists, which that's got to be better for him. Got to get better. Brandon Miller back in the fold of things after missing a good amount of games, 24 points for him as well for the Hornets. For Cleveland, 25 points for Darius Garland, 19 points for Spider Mitchell. Jarrett Allen, 19 points, 11 rebounds for him. Mobley, 17 points for him. And I got to shout out Jarrett Allen. When they played the Lakers last week on Christmas Eve, great job by Cleveland shooting the ball and all this stuff against the Lakers. Great shooting by them. Shot the ball very well. In the fourth quarter, when the Lakers were making a comeback, Jared Allen, granted, scoring the ball off garbage points, but shot the ball. When you got the ball in the post and stuff like offensive rebounding, all that stuff. It's kind of, I was like, taking over that game late against the Lakers, but you felt his impact towards the end there. And I tweeted out like, damn, the Lakers need to make a move for big. If you got title aspirations, you got to make a move for big. And with the way Jared Allen kind of like took over in that fourth quarter, late about 5 minutes or so in that game, you got to find a big. Because you look up and see the teams that are very good in the NBA so far this year got bigs. Cleveland, big. Boston, bigs. OKC, granted they can get away for with the small ball, but bigs. I name those teams out. They got bigs. So if you're in contention, trying to be in contention, you got to find some bigs. Houston, big. Sagoon, big man. Kind of playing the same old Jared Allen, big. So if y'all can figure that out, you can possibly win the NBA championship this year. But we'll take one more break. On the other side of things, I'll go through the World College Basketball, finish up NBA talk, and we'll get out of here. But this is Fast Break here live for High Sports Radio. You're the read for High Sports. And I'll catch you on the other side.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you with the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
And what's good, everybody? This is Davidson Crooks. We're having a fast break here for Ice Sports Radio. You're the week for all sports. And we're going to kind of just wrap this show up. I'll talk about some NCAA basketball real quick. And we got conference play is here. Conference play is here for men and women's. A lot of new things are happening this year. Texas, Oklahoma, and the SEC. We got the new four in the Big Ten with UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon. And those side of things, the new Big 12, the Arizona schools, Arizona State, Arizona, going to the Big 12, Colorado going back to the Big 12, and so forth. And I know if y'all listen to this show, I'm a Homer guy, and I know I'm an Alabama guy. But they got a big time win over Oklahoma. And they got a big time win over Oklahoma this past Saturday. They beat them 107-79. And a big time win in conference play. A big time win over a previously undefeated team, Oklahoma Sooners. And the game wasn't close. If you see the score, yeah, Oklahoma got some points and stuff like that, but the game wasn't close. If you watch that game wasn't close. And I want to give credit to Nate Oates, and I'm glad he hasn't done this yet. And I hope he doesn't do this yet. One thing he said after Alabama played North Dakota, up in North Dakota last month. One thing he said after that game, they've calling out the defensive effort and all that stuff with the squad. He said, I hope I may have to talk the bench to kind of, tighten up things and stuff like that. Yeah, I said this to somebody I work with and all that stuff. Say, yeah, but if you can go deep in your bench, like 10, 11 guys deep in your bench, and they as a team get you 90 plus each game potentially, why mess up the recipe? You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, kind of just heighten, certain points in the game, defensively to kind of, keep your team at top. If you can average damn near 100 points each game in NCAA basketball like this, why mess that up? That's just my saying. And I know that they're not going to break 100 every game in conference play. We know that. We know that. But if you can damn near get like this all the time, that'd be great for the squad. So they beat them 107-79. Mark Sears probably had one of his better games this year. Kind of found a little bit of mojo back. Got to the free throw line. 22 points for him, 10 assists. LeBron fell on 60 points for him. Grant Nelson, 12 points, 11 rebounds for him. Off the bench, Darian Reed, 11 points for him. Aiden Holloway, who's been a pretty good get from Auburn, 10 points for him. Youngblood, 9 points, 8 rebounds for him, 2 assists as well to help the bench along the way. So, just looking, just deep I'm going. Jared Stevenson got to start, 9 points for him. They went pretty damn deep in that bench to kind of get to where you're at. Now, for Oklahoma, Fierce had 16 points, 20 points for Jalen Moore to lead the way for Oklahoma. But if Alabama like this from beginning to end like this for the remaining conference play, you can't trust that team. They got South Carolina Wednesday, at Columbia. And you talk about a South Carolina team that this got bulldozed by Mississippi State. They got their ass kicked. Like, I know there's bad games and stuff like that, but Mississippi State, one more slept on teams not talked about in this country, talked about in the country. You know, they 13-1 and they beat South Carolina 85-50. Like, South Carolina only had like 18 points in the first half. Now, played better in the second half, but too late for that. So, shout out to Mississippi State beating down South Carolina there. Also going to the Alabama schedule. After South Carolina, they're at Texas A&M Saturday on the 11th. And, talking about a Texas A&M team that you potentially, like I said earlier, you probably won't score 90 plus every game, but I think this is one of these games that you probably be in high 60s, low 70s area against the Texas A&M squad. And then the 14th, I'll be at that game against Ole Miss on the 14th. I will be there in attendance in that game to watch them play the Ole Miss Rebels. So I'm excited, to talk about that matchup there. Come next time, showtime there. So Alabama, they got potential to go, throughout the week. Beat South Carolina, beat Texas A&M. By the time coming here next week on the show, could be 3-0 in conference play. And then you kind of look at the rest of for the rest of the month. At Kentucky on the 18th, home against Vanderbilt, home against LSU on the 25th, and then you go on west, hour and a half to Starkville and play Mississippi State. So for Bama, hey, if they continue to play like they did against Oklahoma, nobody's touching this squad in conference play. But we'll see. Wait and see how things go. During conference, during that time as well. Another game I watched, Auburn, they beat down Missouri 84-68. Auburn looked pretty damn good. They pulled away late from Missouri, and they, late in that second half, and couldn't touch them. Johnny Broome, 24 points, 7 rebounds for him to lead the way for Auburn. 13 points off the bench for Chaney Johnson. Not the best shooting night for Auburn. I hate giving Auburn credit. I just hate it. But great, not bad shooting night for them. And to beat a solid Missouri team who was a quiet 11-3, I think it was a great job by Bruce Curl Company to get things rolling there. Shout out to the chat. I talked to Marcus already. Shout out to Larry B, the founder. How you doing tonight, sir? To go down the rest of the top 25 real quick. In action yesterday, Duke beat SMU 89-62. Arizona, I know they're 8-5 right now, and some people kind of consider upset, but they went to Cincinnati, beat them 72-67. I also got a big commitment from LeBron James' middle son, second son, Bryce James, to go to their school. So pick up a nice commitment there and win the game in Cincinnati on the road. Iowa State beat down Baylor 74-55, one of the better teams in the country for the Cyclones. 16 points for Gilbert, 14 points off the bench for Curtis Jones to help lead the way for the Cyclones. And Baylor team that a lot of teams, I won't say a lot of folks had at least a 16 run, may not be in the cards right now. Maybe. Nebraska, 12-2. They could be upset against UCLA. They beat them 66-58. UCLA did not shoot the ball well. They did not. 4 for 28 from 3. Now, I know the Mick Cronin offense, don't call for a lot of threes, but damn, to shoot like that, against Nebraska, I mean, that's a bad look. And, granted to Nebraska, they played tough, 16 points for Williams, 11 points for Worcester, 9 rebounds for Senio. If I butchered that, I apologize. And then just kind of, looking at Hoiberg had 7 points off the bench. They didn't shoot too much better than UCLA. But, getting to the free throw line went a long way for that Nebraska squad compared to 13 shot attempts for the Bruins. So, but big win for Nebraska at home in Big Ten Conference play against UCLA. Ole Miss beat Georgia 61-53 in that matchup. Big time win for the Rebels there at home. Another undefeated team went down. Kentucky beat Florida 106-100. Florida, we talked about here about like a couple months ago about their coach being under investigation, which, we ain't hearing too much about that here soon or lately because they've been winning. And if you win, you kind of, keep the trouble away just like that. Just keep the trouble away like that. But they fall to Kentucky 106-100. Big day for Walter Clayton Jr. 33 points for him. 26 points for Elijah Martin to lead away for the Gators. But, it wasn't enough. And also they shot 22 for 35 from the line. And I always tell y'all on this show. I tell my kids when I coach this. If you ain't shooting well from the free throw line, you lose the game. And they lost the game by 6. They shot 22 for 35 from the free throw line. Six more, you 28 for 35 from the line. If you 30 for 35 from the line, you win the game. And I always stretch up our free throws in close games. It's always been like a thing in me in basketball. If you shoot well from the line, if your game's close, your strategy changes in the course of the game. If you shoot bad from the line and you look at the final score, you point to one stat there. It's not the end all be all if you miss all those free throws and you lose the game, but major factor in my humble opinion. And that's what happened with Florida there. And then going to today's scores real quick. Kansas beat down UCF 99-48. Memphis beat North Texas 68-64. When Penny wins and Memphis wins, everybody's quiet. When they lose, everybody jumps out the woodwork trying to criticize Penny. Isn't that amazing? Oregon beats Maryland 83-79. Just get to go 13-2. Illinois 11-3 beat the Washington Huskies 81-77. Connecticut barely escapes by Providence 87-84. And Purdue, big time win at home against Northwestern 79-61. To the ladies' side of things, real quick, today's action. Right now, you got USC and Rutgers 37-14 with the Trojans leading away there. And, Juju Walker's got 11 points right now to lead away for the Trojans and damn near outscoring Rutgers. And I wouldn't surprise me she will try to outscore them through the course of this game. Maryland beat down Iowa 74-66 in that matchup. In Iowa, Cal beat SMU 81-66. LSU stayed undefeated, beating Auburn 70-63. Auburn's women's basketball is just horrendous. it's like I don't know who they can hire, but it's been pretty horrendous for the past few years. Texas beat Arkansas 90-56. Oklahoma get a big time win on the road in Knoxville 87-86 over the Lady Volunteers. Kentucky and the coach I like the coach hire they got from Virginia Tech. I forgot his name off the top of my head. They beat Vanderbilt 96-78 there. South Carolina women's 14-1 beat down Mississippi State 95-68 right there. Great game from Chloe Kitts, 17 points, 10 rebounds for her to help lead the way. One of the ladies lead the way. Tessa Johnson, 22 points off the bench for her for the Gamecocks. Connecticut 83-52 against over at Villanova. Sarah Strong really playing well this year. 21 points for her, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Paige Buchers, 15 points, 9 assists for her as well for the Huskies. And then the Duke ladies, excuse me, beat down Pittsburgh 69-31 in that matchup as well. And before I head off here, if you look at the ladies real quick, one thing I do want to bring up from them, a lot of talented ladies are scoring the ball right now. And a lot of talent is dispersed around the country. And looking like at the top teams right now, I don't say not one sticks out, but it's like a good number of teams that you can pinpoint that could possibly win a championship. UCLA could possibly win a championship off the back of Lauren Betts. South Carolina, with their solid roster, could possibly win a championship. Notre Dame, with their scoring from trying to put the damn stats up for Hidalgo, her leading the way. USC, Juju Watkins, LSU with Kim Mulkey, etc. So a lot of good teams in the women's side of things, and you can't really pinpoint who can stick out and whatnot. And like I said, with conference play here, we're going to see some separation from the top, and who will kind of like pretenders from the jump. But my bet, for the women's side of things and who I like so far, it's always been a favorite for me, Juju Watkins and the USC Trojans. And when me and Tam Rodriguez came in here like a couple weeks ago, talked about that matchup. If the USC wins, I think it'll go a long way for them to kind of like have confidence with conference play, but only get to the state tournament that they can, match up again and beat them again. Or you can match up against LSU, beat them. Match up against South Carolina, beat them. UCLA, your crosstown rivals, beat them. Or have a big scoring matchup between you and Hannah Hidalgo. Or old girl down at TCU, Van Leff, who only had 7 points against Cincinnati, but don't sleep on Madison Connor, who had 29 points for the Horned Frogs as well. So a lot of great squads for the ladies side on the ladies side of things. On the men's, we're still trying to figure that out, in a sense. Are Auburn and Tennessee really contenders like that? Can Alabama maintain high scoring come conference play? Can Oklahoma kind of, don't let this loss to Alabama kind of rock them back and knocking them back down the standings? Can they keep this level here? Can like UCLA being Big Ten now, can they kind of stay here in this level? Will Duke all their freshmen? Can John Shire lead the way there? So, a lot of questions coming to conference play, and we're going to watch how everything plays out, here in the coming weeks and whatnot. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I greatly appreciate tuning in and watching the show here tonight. Luckily, the rain didn't slow down the show tonight, so that's a great plus right there. To wrap up a couple things real quick here, going back to the NBA, the Lakers are down 4 points to the Houston Rockets with a minute and 11 left to go. If Houston wins this, I think there's another feather in the cap, and a great job by Ime Udoka. And a great job he's done with this young Houston Rockets squad. Sacramento. And I know I didn't touch on Mike Brown getting let go, but I'll touch on that right here. I think it was Bush League that he got fired the way he did. I hate that he got fired like that. He had to practice all that stuff, be ready to go down to LA. I hate that he got let go like that. And you talking about Mike Brown that really turned around that franchise and helped them get to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. And the first time in a long time since 2006. 2006 is the year I graduated high school. That's how long ago the Kings have been in the playoffs. And we get close to the year, my 2-year anniversary of high school. It's a long time. That's Eric Evans, Boogie Cousins, Nick Spousky. The Kings fan, you remember that kid? You remember for that. Countless coaches. Like Mike Malone said, that silly ass owner that they got kind of really stifled the growth of that team. So, we'll see how they expect that from Doug Christie and company in the rest of the season. And all that good stuff. Please follow the show on Twitter /X at FastBreakIESR. That's FastBreakIESR. You follow D-Locke on Twitter /X at Black-813. That's Black-813. Also follow me on Instagram as well at that same handle. You follow me at Twitter /X. That's Spawn4288. That's Spawn4288. My Titans got the first overall pick in the draft, so I will tweet about that and stuff like that. Fun time. You follow Sports Radio right there on the scroll right there. All your latest show feeds there. The website, check out the website there, please. Check out TikTok. We do a lot of great stuff on there as well. Get us on the podcast, wherever you can podcast from as well. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to y'all next week. I am out of here. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.